Welcome to our deep dive into how to totally nail that human resources officer interview.
It's a big one.
It is.
A lot of people want to get into HR.
Absolutely. And we've got some awesome resources to help us out today, right?
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's Career and Interview Guides.
Yeah, these guides are really packed with good stuff.
Yeah.
It's real practical advice.
We're going to go deep.
We are.
We're not just going to skim the surface. We're going to figure out
Absolutely.
what really makes somebody stand out in this role.
Exactly.
Give you some insider tips on tackling those tricky interview questions.
That's right.
No matter where you're at, if you're just starting out, if you're aiming for a promotion,
Yeah, if you're switching careers.
you're going to get something out of this.
A lot of people are switching into HR now.
Yeah, so let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
First things first, what does a human resources officer actually do day to day?
Yeah, people use that title. They have an idea in their mind, but it's often more than they realize.
Okay, so unpack that for us a little bit.
So you're essentially the guardian of a company's most valuable asset, their people.
Okay.
You're involved in everything from recruiting and onboarding new talent to managing employee relations, ensuring legal compliance,
Oh, wow.
even administering payroll and benefits.
Okay, so it really is the whole...
A whole life cycle,
Yeah.
the employee experience. Yeah, it's about creating a workplace where people can thrive.
It sounds like a very demanding job, but also a very rewarding one, would you say?
I think so. Yeah, there's a lot of variety.
Yeah.
You're dealing with people all day.
Right, and that brings us to what I thought was a really interesting point that RoleCatcher made in the career guide about what makes someone stand out in this role.
Absolutely.
It's more than just checking off those skills on a job description.
Yeah, you have to go beyond that.
Right.
Active listening, critical thinking, a deep knowledge of HR principles. Those are essential.
Right.
But you're dealing with people all day long.
All day.
So reading a room, understanding people's reactions, de-escalating tricky situations.
It's the people skills.
Soft skills. That's where you can really shine.
I love that they emphasize that because it's so true.
It's true.
It's not just processing paperwork. You're really...
Navigating human behavior.
Right. And speaking of navigating, and the career guide mentions this too, what's interesting is the academic background for this role can be surprisingly diverse.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that
Right.
while a degree in human resources is a natural fit, of course,
Sure.
they highlighted that business administration, psychology, even sociology
Mhm.
can equip you with a lot of relevant skills.
It's about how you apply that to
Exactly.
the real world.
To the real world.
That's encouraging for anyone listening, thinking about a career switch,
Absolutely.
that, transferable skills are really valued.
Very much so.
So let's get into some actual interview questions.
All right.
Let's do it, because this is where the rubber meets the road.
Let's do it.
This is where we can really help people prepare. So the first question, straight from RoleCatcher's Guide. Tell me about your experience in recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this is such a staple question.
It is, and it's a chance for you to really showcase your strategic thinking.
Okay.
The interviewer isn't just looking for a list of your past roles.
Right.
They want to see how you approach the entire recruiting process.
Oh, okay. So the whole thing's soup to nuts.
Yeah, from identifying needs to attracting that top talent.
Okay, so for our listener who's maybe, getting ready for their first HR officer interview,
Right.
how can they frame their response to really make it stand out?
So think back to your achievements. Okay.
Okay.
Did you reduce time to hire?
Okay.
Implement a new sourcing strategy that brought in diverse candidates? Quantify your successes whenever possible?
Give me numbers.
Numbers.
Okay.
Use data.
I love it.
So did you use social media employee referral programs? Did you attend job fairs?
Ooh, yeah, good point.
What strategies did you use to build a pipeline of qualified candidates? Maybe you even use data analytics to improve your recruiting efforts.
Oh, that's fancy.
Fancy.
I like it. Okay, so it's about going beyond, I did this to,
Yeah.
this was the impact I made.
Here's the impact I made.
And that's where I think RoleCatcher's AI can come in handy, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you can put in your draft answer,
Yes,
and it'll analyze it against the specific job description that you're targeting.
exactly.
So it might say, hey, tweak your wording or highlight this achievement to
Yeah.
make sure it really resonates with that company.
That company. Exactly.
It's like having a personal interview coach, but it's AI.
It's like AI coach.
Okay, I love it.
Ugh.
All right, next question. What is your approach to employee relations? I feel like this is where the soft skills
Big time.
come in.
Absolutely.
Can you come in-
Communication, empathy, building trust.
Yeah.
The interviewer wants to know that you can foster a positive and productive work environment.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you'll want to showcase your ability to resolve conflict diplomatically. Your communication style. Are you a good listener?
Okay.
Are you someone who can mediate between different perspectives?
Okay, so tell me, what kind of answer are they looking for here? What would really make an answer stand out?
They want to hear how you approach challenges.
Okay.
Do you have any conflict resolution techniques you've used successfully?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you facilitated a team-building activity that boosted morale or helped two colleagues find common ground.
Oh, I like that.
Think of a specific situation that demonstrates your ability to navigate those tricky interpersonal dynamics.
So I'm sensing a theme here.
Yes,
Stories, anecdotes,
absolutely.
real-world examples.
Yeah, because anybody can say, oh yeah, I'm a great communicator.
Right.
You got to back it up.
Show me.
Don't tell.
Don't tell me. Show me. I love it. And again, that's where RoleCatcher's AI, I think, can be really powerful, because
Yeah,
it can help you choose the right story.
exactly.
It aligns with the values of that company and the specific role.
It can analyze the job description, and it flags those keywords or phrases that are most likely to resonate with that hiring manager.
That's so cool.
It's really cool.
And it can even suggest tweaks to your storytelling
Yeah.
to really maximize impact.
It's like having a behind-the-scenes look at what the interviewer is really looking for.
I love that. Okay, let's get a little technical with this next
Right.
question. What is your experience with HRS systems?
Okay, now this might throw some people off
It might.
if they're not familiar with the acronym.
Break it down for us.
HRIS stands for Human Resources Information System.
Okay.
It's basically software that companies use to manage internal HR functions.
Okay, got it.
This could include payroll, benefits, time, and attendance employee data.
Okay.
So they're really asking, are you comfortable working with these systems?
Yeah. Are you tech savvy enough to,
Exactly.
handle the tools of the trade?
Are you going to be intimidated by the software?
Right.
So how much detail should you go into?
Yeah, what level of detail are we talking here?
Tailor it to your experience level.
Okay.
If you're seasoned, talk about specific systems you've used,
Yeah, okay.
maybe even the modules or customizations you're familiar with.
Wow. Okay.
But if you're newer to the field, honesty is key.
Sure.
Highlight any relevant coursework or software you've dabbled in. Even mentioning your proficiency with spreadsheets or databases shows you're comfortable working with data.
Right, you're not afraid of
You're not afraid of data.
tech and data.
Exactly.
And if you're looking to boost your knowledge before the interview, I feel like RoleCatcher's Career Guide can also be a great resource for that.
Yes.
They have a whole section on,
Industry trends.
industry trends and
Look for
software,
relevant software.
so you can get up to speed.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, next question. How do you stay up to date on employment laws and regulations,
This is a big one.
especially these days?
Especially these days, things are changing all the time.
So what are they really asking here?
They want to see that you are proactive. You're not just relying on your company to spoon feed you information.
You're on top of it.
You're on top of it.
Okay.
You're curious.
Okay, so what's a
Oh.
good approach to answering this one?
So how do you demonstrate continuous learning?
Right.
Do you attend industry conferences,
Okay.
webinars,
Mm-hmm.
subscribe to HR publications?
Okay.
Maybe you follow legal experts on social media or part of professional organizations.
Okay.
Be specific.
Name dropping.
A little name dropping never hurts.
I love it. Okay.
But you're actively engaged.
So for somebody newer to the field
Okay.
who maybe doesn't have a ton of experience to draw on yet,
Yep.
how would you recommend they approach this question?
Honesty is always best.
Okay.
You could say something like, I'm currently familiarizing myself with the core employment laws in our state,
Yeah.
and I'm actively seeking out resources to stay updated on any changes.
Perfect.
Shows you're eager to learn,
Yeah.
committed to compliance.
And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful. Analyze that job description and highlight the specific legal areas that are most relevant to that role.
Exactly. So you know what to focus on.
Okay, so helpful. Okay, let's move on to a topic that's becoming increasingly important for companies. How do you approach diversity and inclusion in the workplace?
Yeah, this is really important.
Look, a big one.
And it's not just about checking a box.
No.
Your genuine commitment has to shine through here.
Okay.
It's not enough to just understand the importance of a diverse and inclusive workplace.
Right.
You need to show how you've actively promoted it.
Okay, so how can our listener listening right now
Okay.
frame their answer to really make it stand out?
Think about your experiences.
Okay.
Have you participated in any diversity and inclusion initiatives?
Okay.
Maybe you helped organize a cultural awareness event or mentored someone from an underrepresented group.
I like that.
Share those stories.
Stories.
What strategies have you used to create the more welcoming and inclusive environment?
Okay, so again, stories are key here. But what if you haven't had those opportunities yet?
Okay.
What if you're newer to the field, you haven't been able to?
You're earlier in your journey.
Yeah.
Then focus on your understanding of the benefits.
Okay.
You could mention research showing that diverse teams are more innovative and productive,
Okay.
or discuss the importance of creating a sense of belonging for all employees.
That's a great point.
Have you taken any steps to educate yourself on diversity and inclusion best practices?
Okay.
What have you done to learn?
Love it. Okay. And again, examples are...
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You want to show the interviewer that you're not just paying lip service to these concepts,
right?
that you genuinely believe in them and are willing to put in the effort to make them a reality.
I love that. Okay, let's move on to a question that is often a little bit daunting. Can you give an example of a difficult employee relations issue you resolved?
Yeah.
This is getting into the behavioral interview questions,
Absolutely.
which we know can be so tricky for people.
They can be.
So what's your advice for tackling this one?
Have a compelling story ready.
Okay.
Think back to your career and choose a situation that highlights your problem-solving skills in a challenging interpersonal situation.
Okay.
It could be a conflict between colleagues, a performance issue, even a disciplinary action.
Okay.
Just make sure it's something you handled successfully.
Right. It's got to have a happy ending
A happy ending.
for this story.
And it showcases your skills.
Okay, so break it down for us. What are the key elements of a good story for this type of question?
Okay, so first, set the scene.
Okay.
Who was involved?
Yeah.
What were the stakes?
Okay.
Then walk the interviewer through your process.
Okay.
How did you gather information, assess the situation, and decide on a course of action?
Okay.
Highlight your communication skills,
Ready.
your ability to remain calm under pressure, and your commitment to finding a fair resolution.
That's key.
Did you mediate a compromise? Did you implement a performance improvement plan? Did you ultimately have to let someone go?
Wow. So really walk me through the whole thing.
The whole thing.
And what about the outcome?
That's the most important part.
Yeah. How do you wrap it up?
Emphasize the positive impact of your actions.
Okay.
How did your intervention improve the situation? Did
Right.
you improve team dynamics, boost morale, or help an employee get back on track?
So it's all about that positive resolution.
Yep.
And RoleCatcher's AI, again, can help you choose the right story for the specific job.
That's right.
I mean, it's amazing how technology can really streamline the job search process these days.
It really can. It can be a huge asset.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. How do you ensure compliance with company policies and procedures?
So important.
Every company's got their own,
Their own unique set of guidelines.
their own unique thing. It's crucial for HR to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
But it's not just about enforcing rules, right? It's
No.
about cultivating this culture of compliance.
You've got it.
So what is the interviewer really trying to get at here?
They want to know that you understand the why behind the rules.
The why.
Yeah, and that you have a system for making sure everyone understands and follows them.
Okay.
So it's about being proactive,
Oh.
organized, having a process.
So should we talk about specific procedures when we answer this question?
Focus on your process.
Okay.
How do you familiarize yourself with a company's policies? Do you conduct thorough training sessions for employees?
Okay.
Do you have a system for communicating policy updates?
Okay.
Do you follow up regularly to ensure compliance? So
Okay.
you're not just setting it and forgetting it.
Right. You're really staying on top of it.
You're staying on top of it.
So a good answer here demonstrates that you're not just waiting for problems. You're actively trying to prevent them.
Anticipate challenges, implement solutions proactively.
Okay, now I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
What about when an employee disagrees with a policy?
That's a great point.
How would you address that?
You're likely to get that as a follow-up. So do you have a process for employees to voice their concerns or suggestions?
Mm-hmm.
Do you foster an open-door policy where employees feel comfortable coming to you with questions?
Yeah.
It's about showing that you're approachable, open to feedback, and can handle disagreements professionally and fairly.
This is all so helpful.
Mm.
Okay, next question. How do you handle confidential employee information?
All right.
This is a biggie.
This is a biggie.
This gets right to the heart of
HR ethics.
HR ethics professionalism.
Big responsibility.
It is a huge responsibility.
Salaries, performance reviews.
People are trusting you with this sensitive information.
Exactly.
So what are we hitting on in our answer here?
Start by emphasizing your understanding of confidentiality and its importance.
Okay.
You can even mention relevant laws like IPO,
Okay.
if it applies to the role.
Okay.
Then talk about the practical steps you take to protect that information.
Okay.
Secure storage for physical files, password-protected systems for digital data, limiting access based on roles and responsibilities.
Got it.
Do you enforce data encryption?
Okay.
Implement strict access controls.
All the things. And discretion's key. Right?
Absolutely.
Like you're not gossiping.
No gossip.
You're not sharing sensitive information.
It's about building truster. Employees need to know that they can confide in you.
Right.
And their information is safe.
And I bet RoleCatcher's AI can help you tailor that answer to the specific industry.
Different industries have different regulations and standards for handling that data.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So the AI can ensure that you're addressing the most relevant points for the job you're targeting.
It's so helpful. Okay. How do you manage employee performance? I feel like this is a really
That's a big one.
broad topic.
It is a big one.
So where do we even begin?
It's broad, but that's what makes it a great opportunity to really showcase your understanding of performance management systems.
No, okay, I like that spin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about the different stages of performance management.
Okay.
Do you conduct regular check-ins? How do you set clear goals and expectations?
No.
Should you talk about specific tools or methods you've used? Absolutely.
Okay.
Talk about your experience with performance reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in regular feedback, both positive and constructive?
Okay.
Have you ever had to implement a performance improvement plan?
Okay.
It's important to highlight your ability to tailor your approach to different individuals and situations.
Right, because everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
Different needs.
Exactly.
Different ways of,
Motivation.
responding.
Exactly.
So do you utilize 360-degree feedback?
Yes.
How do you handle underperformance?
Yeah.
So you really are showing that you could be both
Supportive and firm.
supportive and firm depending on the situation.
It's a balancing act.
It is all right. Feeling energized and ready to tackle the next set of questions.
All right.
But we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of human resources officer interviews.
We're ready to jump back in.
I feel like our listeners are getting so much out of this so far.
Good.
Yeah, we've covered so much ground already, from understanding the role itself
Yeah.
to tackling these meaty questions
Absolutely.
about recruiting, employee relations, even legal compliance.
Yeah, you really got to be prepared
You do.
to talk about all these things.
You do. It's not enough to just know the textbook definition of HR.
Exactly.
You really have to apply it
Real world
in the real world.
situations, yeah.
And those real world situations involve some pretty sensitive topics.
Yes, they do.
Like the next question from RoleCatcher's Guide. Can you describe your experience with benefits administration?
Ooh, benefits.
Benefits, what a can of worms.
It's a big one?
It is a big one, but it's a huge part of the employee experience, right?
Oh, it is.
I mean, that's one of the main things that,
Attract and retain top talent,
yeah, and keeps people happy at their job.
for sure.
So obviously important for HR to understand, but also complex.
Very complex.
Like you said, can of worms. So break it down for us. What does the interviewer want to know when they ask this question?
They want to know that you understand the ins and outs of benefits administration.
Okay.
Everything from enrollment and communication
Okay.
to compliance and problem solving.
So what are we hitting on when we answer this one?
So if you have direct experience with benefits administration, talk about the specific tasks you're responsible for.
Right.
Did you manage enrollments, handle employee queries, process claims?
Okay.
Were you involved in selecting and implementing benefit plans? Did you ever have to negotiate with insurance providers?
So again, the more specific, the better.
Oh,
Paint that picture.
Yeah.
But what if you're newer to the field
Okay.
and you don't have a ton of experience,
Okay.
hands-on in benefits administration?
Yeah.
What do you recommend?
So then I would focus on your understanding of the different types of benefits programs and the legal requirements surrounding them.
Yeah.
So you could talk about COBRA, FMLA, HIPAA, any regulations that are relevant to the role, and don't forget to highlight your ability to communicate effectively about benefits.
Yeah, because those are,
Confusing
yeah.
acronyms, legalese.
So being able to break it down
Yes,
for people so they understand it.
exactly. And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful.
I was going to say.
It can identify the specific benefits-related keywords that are most likely to resonate with the hiring manager for this job.
So helpful.
Yeah, and it can even analyze your draft answer and suggest ways to make it more impactful.
I love it. Okay, this next question I think makes people squirm a little bit. What are your salary expectations?
Ooh. Yeah, this is always a tricky one.
It's nerve-wracking, right?
It is.
You want to be realistic,
Yeah,
but you don't want to sell yourself short.
right, exactly.
So how do we approach this question without, shooting ourselves in the foot?
So first and foremost, do your research.
Okay.
Look at industry salary surveys. Websites like Glassdoor or Salary.com even reach out to people in similar roles to get a sense of the going rate.
Oh, good point.
Network.
Yeah.
And then consider your own experience,
Yeah.
qualifications, education skills, previous roles. And then when you answer, be confident and direct.
Okay, now, should we give a range or a specific number? What's your take?
I think a range is best. It gives you some wiggle room.
Okay, wiggle room for negotiation.
Yes, negotiation. You could say something like, based on my research and experience, I'm targeting a salary in the range of. And be prepared to justify your expectations.
Okay.
If they push back,
Yeah.
you can explain how your skills and accomplishments
Warrant it.
warrant that salary level.
Okay, so what happens if they come back and their offer is lower than what you were hoping for?
Don't be afraid to negotiate,
Oh.
but be prepared to walk away
Okay.
if they're not willing to meet you somewhere in the middle.
Know your worth.
It's about knowing your worth, and this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be helpful.
I was going to say,
They can analyze your skills.
I love how we keep coming back to this
We do.
because it really is such an amazing tool.
It is.
Yeah, tell me about that.
It can analyze your skills and experience and provide salary benchmarks based on your profile.
So you have some data to back it up.
You have data.
You're not just pulling a number out of thin air.
Exactly.
Okay. Why are you interested in this particular role? This is another one that feels like
Oh, yeah.
they're trying to trick you.
It's a little bit of a trap, but it's also a great opportunity to showcase your passion and your research skills.
Oh, okay. I like that spin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they want to know that you haven't just randomly applied for this job,
Okay.
that you've given it some thought.
You've done your homework.
Yeah. And you genuinely want to work for their company.
I'm guessing a generic answer like, I'm passionate about HR won't cut it.
No, no, no.
But how do we go deeper?
Go deeper, connect your skills and experience to the specific requirements of the role. What are the aspects of the job description that excite you? Why do you think you'd be a good fit for this company?
So tailor it to the company.
Absolutely.
Don't just give a general answer.
No.
Do your research.
Research. The company mentions something you admire about their culture, their mission, their values. Have they been in the news lately? Are they doing something innovative in the HR space?
Show them you've done your research.
Show them you've done your research.
And personalize it.
Personalize it. Let your enthusiasm shine through.
Okay. What are your strengths and weaknesses?
Oh, the classic. Here it is.
Love, hate.
Yeah. So easy to sound arrogant or insecure with this one.
It is. It's a balancing act.
So what's the best way to navigate this tricky question?
Be authentic and self-aware.
Easier said than done sometimes.
It is true. But when discussing your strengths,
Okay.
choose ones that are directly relevant to the role and back them up with concrete examples.
Don't just say you're a good communicator.
No,
Show
no.
me how you're a good communicator. Exactly how have your communication skills helped you succeed in previous roles?
Give me an example.
Yeah, maybe you successfully negotiated a contract, mediated a conflict, or developed a training program.
Okay, so really paint that picture.
Yeah.
Now the weaknesses.
The weaknesses, everybody hates this part.
I know. Should we try to spin them into strengths?
No.
Should we just choose something really minor that's not going to raise any red flags?
Honesty is always the best policy.
Really?
Yes, choose a genuine weakness, but one that you're actively working to improve.
Okay.
This shows that you're self-aware and committed to growth.
So an example would be like, I sometimes struggle with time management, but I've started using a new productivity system to help me stay on track.
Perfect example.
Okay, so you're acknowledging it,
You're acknowledging it?
but you're showing that you're taking steps to improve.
Yes. And it's all about framing your weaknesses as opportunities for growth.
I love that. And RoleCatcher's AI
Yes.
can help with this one too. they can identify strengths and weaknesses that are particularly relevant to the job.
Yeah, the AI can analyze the job description and suggest which of your skills and traits are most likely to impress the hiring manager.
So you're not wasting time talking about strengths that they don't even care about.
Exactly.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Ah, the classic 5-year plan question.
I know. It gets me every time.
Yeah.
It's hard, right? Because you want to sound ambitious,
Yes.
but realistic.
Yeah, you don't want to sound like you're going to be running the company in 5 years.
Right, right. You're not trying to take their job.
Not yet.
Not yet. But you also don't want to sound like you have no ambition.
Exactly.
So how do we walk that fine line?
Okay, so start by aligning your aspirations with the company's growth trajectory.
Okay.
Have they mentioned any plans for expansion or new product launches?
Okay, so again, do your research.
Research, express your interest in contributing to those efforts.
Okay.
If you're aiming for a management position or want to specialize in a particular area of HR, say so. It shows you're thinking ahead.
But what if you don't have a super specific 5-year plan?
It's okay, most people don't.
Yeah.
Focus on your desire to learn, take on new challenges, and contribute to the company's success.
Okay.
You can say something like, in 5 years, I hope to have developed my expertise in blank and to be a key contributor to the company's blank.
Blank being like the area of HR or the company's goal or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, the key is to demonstrate your commitment to growth and development.
Why should we hire you?
All right?
The million-dollar question.
Here ya.
So much pressure.
Yeah, it's a direct question, but it's also a fantastic opportunity to summarize all the reasons you're the perfect candidate.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. This is your closing argument.
Okay.
Reiterate your key skills and experiences, highlighting how they align with the specific requirements of the job,
Okay.
and tie it back to the company's needs and goals.
So it's not just about you
No.
and your qualifications. It's about how you can help them.
How you can benefit them, exactly.
Okay, I like that.
Explain how your contributions will help them achieve their objectives.
Okay.
Maybe you have a unique skill set that fills a gap in their team.
Okay.
Perhaps your experience in a particular industry aligns perfectly with their current challenges.
Yeah.
This is your moment to connect the dots and leave them with a clear understanding of the value you bring to the table.
And let your personality shine through.
Yes. Don't be afraid to show a little bit of who you are,
Yeah.
your enthusiasm, your passion.
This is your time to shine.
It is.
Okay, what happens when the tables are turned?
Oh.
And it's your turn to ask the questions.
Yeah.
Because it always happens, right?
Always happens.
At the end of the interview, they're like, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, and this is a crucial part of the interview process.
It is.
It's your opportunity to gather information, clarify any doubts you might have, and demonstrate your genuine interest in the role and the company.
I've always been told it's important to have a few questions prepared.
Yes.
What are some good questions to ask?
Okay, so think strategically.
Okay.
Avoid questions that can easily be answered with a quick Google search.
Right. They don't want you to ask something you could just find on their website.
Exactly. Instead, ask thoughtful questions that show you've done your research and you're thinking critically about the role, the team, and the company culture.
Okay.
You could ask about the company's biggest challenges, their plans for growth, or the opportunities for professional development within the role.
Okay.
You could also ask about the team you'll be working with, the company's leadership style, or the day-to-day responsibilities of the position.
That's a good one. What about work-life balance, company perks? Is it okay to ask about that stuff?
It can be, but frame those questions in a way that shows your commitment to the company's success.
Okay.
For example, instead of asking, how much vacation time do I get?
Yeah.
You could ask, what does the company do to support employee well-being and work-life balance?
Oh, that's a good spin.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
It shows that you care about creating a sustainable and fulfilling work environment.
All right. Feeling prepared to ask some good questions. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
All right, this is the bonus round.
Here we go.
One last chance to make a memorable impression.
What should we share?
Use this opportunity to reiterate your enthusiasm for the role.
Yeah.
Highlight any unique skills or experiences that haven't come up yet.
Oh?
Maybe you have a volunteer experience that demonstrates your leadership skills, or you've taken a course in a relevant subject that wasn't on your resume.
Oh, yeah. Fill in those gaps.
Fill in those gaps.
I like it. And don't forget to say thank you.
Absolutely. Express your gratitude for the opportunity to interview and reiterate your interest in the position. A sincere thank you can go a long way
It can.
in leaving a positive final impression.
Well, I feel like we've covered so much in this segment.
We have.
You know, from negotiating your salary
Yes.
to showcasing your strengths and weaknesses.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. I bet our listeners are feeling really prepped and ready to ace that interview.
I hope so.
Yeah, but preparation is only one part of the equation, right?
Absolutely.
Got to bring the confidence.
The enthusiasm, the passion for HR.
Yeah, it's got to come from within.
It does.
But stay tuned for part 3,
Yeah.
where we explore the potential career paths
Oh, yes.
that await you once you land that HR officer position.
The future is bright.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. I feel like we've really given our listeners the tools they need to ace that HR officer interview.
I think so, too. We covered so much, from those tricky behavioral questions to showcasing your expertise.
Yeah, all those real-world scenarios.
But it's not just about reciting the right answers, right?
Right.
It's about letting that passion for HR really shine through.
Yeah.
Showing you can connect with people.
Being authentic.
Being authentic, yeah. And conveying your commitment to creating a thriving workplace.
Absolutely. But let's look beyond the interview.
Okay.
Let's say you aced it, you got the job.
Wow.
What's Ed next T?
What's next?
Where can this role take you in the future?
It's something worth thinking about even before you walk into that interview room.
Okay.
Having a vision for your career trajectory can actually make you a more compelling candidate.
I like that.
Yeah, it shows ambition, foresight, a commitment to professional growth.
So what does that trajectory look like
Yeah.
for somebody starting out as an HR officer?
So the good news is there's a lot of room for growth.
Okay, good.
A typical path might start with a junior HR officer role, then progress to a senior HR officer position,
Good.
eventually leading to an HR manager or even a director role.
Okay.
And RoleCatcher's career guide actually outlines these different stages.
Oh, cool.
Providing examples of what someone at each level might be responsible for.
So it's a helpful way to kind of visualize those possibilities.
Visualize where you can go with this.
I like it,
Yeah.
but how can you accelerate that growth?
How do you get there faster?
Yeah.
Professional certifications.
Okay.
The guide highlights a few key ones, the PHR, the SHRMCP.
Yeah.
Those show a commitment to professional excellence and can open doors to higher level roles and increased earning potential.
So it's like leveling up your HR skills and credibility.
Exactly. And there are also more specialized certifications in areas like compensation,
Oh, okay.
benefits, or talent management, depending on what you're interested in.
So you can really niche down if you want to.
You can, and it demonstrates your expertise to potential employers, and it sets you apart from the competition.
I love that. And RoleCatcher can also support with this, right?
Absolutely. They have a wealth of information on different HR certifications, including study resources, exam prep materials,
Oh, wow.
even connections to other professionals who have gone through the process.
Oh, that's so valuable.
Yeah, a great resource.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about the interview, prep, the career paths, certifications. But before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to come back to something you mentioned earlier, passion for HR.
Yeah.
What makes this more than just a job?
So for me, it's the human element.
Mm-hmm.
HR professionals are at the heart of an organization.
Yeah.
You're shaping the culture, supporting employees, ensuring everyone has the resources they need to thrive.
It's about the people.
It really is. It's about creating a workplace where people feel valued, respected, and empowered to do their best work.
That is beautiful.
And with the world of work constantly evolving, HR professionals have this unique opportunity to shape the future of work.
I like that.
Yeah, we can advocate for more inclusive and equitable workplaces, champion flexible work arrangements, and ensure that people remain at the center of every business decision.
People first.
People first, yeah.
That's a great note to end on.
I think so.
So to all our listeners gearing up for that HR officer interview, we wish you the best of luck.
You got this.
Preparation is key.
Right.
But let that passion shine through.
And don't forget to leverage the power of RoleCatcher.
Of course.
Their AI-powered tools can really help you refine those answers.
Yeah.
Highlight your strengths and navigate the job search process with confidence.
Absolutely. That's a wrap on another deep dive.
Another one done.
We'll be back soon with more insightful explorations
We will.
of the topics that matter to you.
Stay tuned.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep